Hi, I'm Nikki and I'm one of the artists working on the Widening Horizons project with St Mary's School in Morecambe and all the great children there. I've been busy thinking about what inspires me. It's not really a what, it's a who, because it's actually people that inspire me, and it's arty people, creative people, and there's loads of artists I really like. One of my favourite artists is called Karita Kent. Now, Karita was a really interesting person. She was a nun, a Catholic nun who worked in America, and she used to teach at art college, and she taught lots of students over the years in the 1960s, long time ago. But she really liked working with letters, and she'd put letters and shapes on everything. And one thing she really liked about letters was the shape it made and the actual messages you could give to people with those sort of things. You could communicate. You can now see how people in the 1960s really liked bright colour, bold shapes, really clear images, and it was really exciting and really, well, everything just went pop. Art went pop, and they actually called it that. These days, when we look back at that time in history in the 1960s, the art is actually called pop art. Well, when we talk about Karita Kent in the 1960s, with all the work that was part of the pop art movement, where everything was bold and brash and clear, it had words in it, and it really did go pop, made me think of the work I did at St Mary's School in Morecambe, where they actually did some work that had some great bold images and really meaningful words. The words were really important. They were really trying to communicate. They were trying to communicate the children's hopes and dreams, the hopes they had for themselves and the dreams they had for the world. Really is inspiring work, and it's certainly inspired me. I can't wait to have another look at it today. So, there's some hopes and dreams in this parcel here. Should we have a look? I think there's a big ribbon attaching it. Shall I pull? Oh, it's all come down. And inside, I can see. Do you want to have a look? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually pin all the work up so we can have a really good look at the children's hopes and dreams. This work, now it's up, really is inspiring, isn't it? It's full of bright colours and patterns and shapes and all those words with all those messages communicating to us. I really want to have an even closer look. Now, Karita Kent encouraged her students to take a closer look, and they used a viewfinder. Now, there's lots of ways to make viewfinders. You can just use your hands. Make an L shape, and then make a sort of a mirrored shape of an L shape. Put them together, you get a rectangle that you can look through. And that's the way you can actually look at work and actually see it. A bit like cropping a photograph, you can actually see more detail. Karita actually got her students to cut a hole in paper, and that's also a good way of doing it, because that means you can really compose a smaller image. Again, you're cropping the image, and it means I can take a really close look at these works now. So, you saw me using a viewfinder to work out my composition for the bigger picture, because I really want to do a big picture now. So I've used that, so that's really useful. I also, if I'm going to do painting, because I feel like painting, I'm definitely going to need paint. And if I'm painting, I'm definitely going to need a paintbrush. And if I'm painting, I'm really messy, so I'm definitely going to need masking tape. Masking tape's a great way to get some neat edges. You put the masking tape on, you paint over it, pull it off, you get a really crisp edge. Now I need to think about what to paint on, what surface to paint on. Karita Kent used to get her students to work on cardboard, really big cardboard boxes. I've got a box here, and I'm hoping it's going to be big enough. I think it might, because it's a very big box. Now I'm going to paint on it. I'm going to use the masking tape to be neat. I'm going to use the paintbrush as well. And when it's dry, I really want to add some letters, because do you remember in the pop art it was all about the letters and the font and the type? I really want to have some fun with letters. I'm going to have to think of a way of getting letters into the artwork. Watch this space. So you see, I've been busy with the paint, getting all my painting done. But you might have noticed I also did some printing. I printed with a printing block. And I'm hoping I can show you how to make a print block of your own, so you can print your own letters. You're going to need a few ingredients though. If you start with perhaps a letter that you like, this one I found on my computer and I printed it out. So it's nice and clear and it'll be easy to cut out. Obviously, I'm going to need some scissors. I have to be careful with these while I cut out my letter. I'm also going to need some funky foam. It's a good name, isn't it, funky foam? It's foam and it's quite funky, all these colours. You can get thick foam, but I quite like this thinner stuff. It's quite bendy and it's quite easy to cut with those scissors. I'm going to need a pen to draw around my letter, and I'm also going to need a glue stick to be able to stick it down, because I'm going to stick it on cardboard. There, got quite a lot of ingredients there. I better show you how I made my block. Well, I really have been inspired today by the wonderful work by the children of St Mary's School, Morecambe. I love the work behind me that was inspired by them thinking about their hopes and dreams, their hopes themselves and their dreams about their families and what they would really like for the world. Truly is inspiring, the artwork and the words. They used magazine cuttings to actually collage the backgrounds, and then they actually drew words on wiggly lines that really did kind of carry the eye across the work, which really, really just, well, caught my imagination. This piece of work was particularly interesting. I really liked it. Have a look. This was one of the pictures I really did like, and the reason I liked it was this striking phrase here: to make my parents proud. What a lovely thought. I think we'd all like and hope to make our families proud. It inspired me. So I got my viewfinder out and I actually tried to crop that part of the image. I thought I'll use that as inspiration for my bigger artwork. Then I actually drew on a little piece of paper. I drew out just the layout, the composition of my bigger piece. Bigger piece behind me, you can see it, can't you? It's the box. And on the box, I translated that little small picture, drew it out, painted it, and then printed on top. Do you remember who inspired me at the beginning of this to get me putting words and print into pictures. Yes! One of my favourites, Karita Kent. So this sign and the other signs I used at the beginning of the film, I cut out letters and I just stuck them onto coloured background. It's quite effective, isn't it? So when I decided to make a smaller artwork, especially for you, I thought, I'll combine sticking down the letters with printing letters. Let me show you. Here, it's a smaller piece. It's still got that lovely phrase in it. Hopes and dreams to make my family proud. But this time, I stuck letters on this bit, painted on the background, and stuck paper on, and then used those printing blocks. It is a lovely phrase. I hope you make your family proud. I'm sure you do. Here, have a closer look. Well, the children really inspired me with their work, and I was really pleased to receive it. So I'm hoping the children will be really pleased to receive this. I'm going to send it on to you, and I hope it really does inspire you. I hope it encourages you to get printing. I hope it really encourages you, most importantly, to keep on hoping, keep on dreaming, and keep on being inspired. Bye!